There are tons of puns that are exclusive to people who speak more than one language.
Can everyone see me?
Yes, OUISIJ.
Where do bad cats go when they die?
Purgatory. Where do bad Spanish-speaking cats go when they die?
Purgatorio.
My friend misplaced his really expensive French olive oil and was really depressed about it. I told him that it's okay, we can get him some more, but he was still totally despondent. Nothing I could do would cheer him up. He wouldn't even get out of bed, just lay there staring at the wall. It was like he'd lost his wild olive.
When did the Japanese start eating eggs?
It's not the fart speed in Norwegian that kills you, it's the smell explosion. This is a masterpiece. I'm no masochist, but I won't say no to pain au chocolat. I have a relevant comment. When I was in France, and picking up the odd French word here and there, I noticed a fleur de douche on a store shelf. Approximately shower flower. How have English-speaking marketing folks missed this? I have only ever seen these called loofah. I'm learning Dutch, and I've heard that Dutch people will usually switch to English when they notice a non-native accent, and I think the first time this will happen to me I'll be so stressed I'll sound like a caveman desperately saying Neanderthal. Very broken way to say no other language, which sounds similar to Neanderthal. Lady in the clothing section was having issues finding out what a Mexican guy was looking for. Shirts, no underwear, no. Finally she called a co-worker for help. ¿Tiene problemas para encontrar algo? Having issues finding something? SOCKS. Why didn't you just spell it out before? I contributed Y2 Papa Tambin to a thread that started change one word in a movie title to potato, and I still pat myself on the back for it, a decade later. No matter how kind you are, German children will always be kinder. Here's one in French. Trois cat and 3 cat are swimming in a race. Who wins? 3 cat, because trois quatre sink. Trois cat sank. While driving by a lake my wife said, I wonder what kind of duck that is. I said, I don't know, I'm not an entomologist. Ent is duck in German. My wife doesn't speak German, but I cracked myself up. The similarly spelled entomologist in English is an expert on insects. I got one. Why is traffic like a sausage? 'Cause it's the worst. It's not the fart that kills, it's the SMLL. Here's one. I can speak a bit of French. For example, if I want to greet someone, I say bonjour. If I want to know where the washroom is, I ask où est la salle de bain. And if I stub my toe, I yell. Further thoughts. All possible combinations of languages contains their own unique sets of puns. ¿Cuál es el helado ms duro? Helado quinjaja? How does a German baker greet his guests in the morning? Gluten Morgen. There's probably hundreds of puns in isolated Papua New Guinean villages that no one will ever bother writing down. German to English can be fun. I'm not sure I'll ever accept a gift from a German. Gift meaning poison in German. Finally, an excuse to drop my favorite language-related pun. German. Wie viel ist es? Swedish ist kein Filler. Es ist mein Bruder Hans. Filler is a Swedish word for someone who is playfully mischievous. Maybe it could translate to English rascal or German Schelm? Here's a pun pickup line. Girl, are you Squirtle? Because you're type. Woda meaning my sounds like water. I took my Japanese friend to an Indian restaurant for the first time. Somewhat unfamiliar with flatbreads, he asked, Kore wa nan de suke? I led the beautiful mademoiselle into my apartment. I took off my shoes and lay on the bed waiting for her. She stood in the doorway of my bedroom, looking at me with those sexy bedroom eyes. Jet adore, she said, seductively. Can't you shut it, babe? You're standing right there, I'm already in bed. Finnegan's Wake has entered the chat. Two cats swim across a river. One is named 123, the other is named UN Dux Troyes. Which one makes it across? 123, because UN Dux Troyes quatre sink. Oh yeah, absolutely. Some of my friends and I communicate exclusively in English despite being native Russian speakers, but we do involve Russian for multilingual puns. Had to teach other friends in the group a whole bunch of Russian words just to make them understand the puns. They now use them more than we do. Haha. My favorite is ko, with a soft n, which is horse, specifically a male one, but like many animals in Russian can also mean that animal in general, so now any English word that tains kon in our ims gets that replaced with. I tell dad jokes, even though I am not a dad. I'm a faux pas. I work in a urinalysis lab. I'll frequently make jokes about the toilet. Why does a house need water? Because it's house thirsty in Malay. For every pairing of two languages, there are unique sets of crossover puns. For every grouping of three languages, there are unique sets of crossover puns. For every grouping of four languages, etc., etc. What do you call messy cheese? Debris? Points at waterfall ass. What comes between sex and fear? Funf. An English cat, a German cat, and a French cat were trying to cross a river. The English cat was named 123, the German cat was named 123, and the French cat was named UN Dux Troyes. Only two of the cats made it across the river. Which two cats survived? The English and German cat survived, because the UN Dux Troyes cat sank. Why do the French only eat one egg for breakfast? Because one egg is UN oaf. Not really a pun, but kinda fits this description. Bananas without B is pineapple. One of my favorites is from the Loki series. Sylvia, you drunk Loki? No, I'm just full, mind you, very full. Full is Norwegian for drunk. Yeah, in my native language, the word for edge or side is kant. Pronounced exactly like CNT. You can imagine how funny it sounds to tell someone to make their side kant clean. In Sweden, we have this Swenglish joke: it's not the fart that kills you, it's the SMLL. Fart means speed and SMLL pronounced like smell means impact. If an avalanche occurs in the Alps between March and May, does that make it an Avril lay wine? My favorite bilingual pun is the title from an anime light novel, as it by pure coincidence works exactly the same in English and Japanese. Bakemonogatari ghostery. Do you speak Polish? Polymoja dupe. What do you call a fly without ears? M. Yeah. It's crazy. I learned Spanish in my 30s and at the time realized I'm even funnier in Spanish than in English. LOL, but it's just easier to joke around in Spanish imho because of the limited words and importance of context. What's over there? I know that in my life, puns in Spanish are 1,000,000 times funnier than ones in English. The Japanese word baka stupid means cow, or maybe depending on how you say it. Pepe means vagina for us. Puns means farts in Brazilian Portuguese only written, the pronunciation is different. A French 9 doesn't need to be a 10, because it is a niaf. Hungarian English hogyang jn la az orasulna frl? Igisran ksak lion. How does the lion come down from the tree? It simply just comes down the jn. It's not the fart that kills you, it's the SMLL pronounced as smell. Fart speed and SMLL boom. My son built a giant cardboard scale model of the Titanic. The packaging proudly proclaimed lead inside. Lead is the Czech's word for ice. A ton of puns? Name. A German was in a British pub with two friends and decides to buy the next round. He says to the barkeep, 3 martinis please. The barkeep says, DRY? The German says, Nians way.